Hi everyone, and thank you for watching us. This is the video series Meet the CloudStack community, and today you will be able to meet Wido and Hollander. Wido is the CTO of PCextreme and 42 On. He's also a PMC member of the CloudStack project, and he's an active contributor to CloudStack. Hi Wido, and thank you for joining us today. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Wido Hollander. I'm the co-founder of a Dutch hosting company, PCextreme, and we're a big user of Apache CloudStack. So we found a project, I think about 9 years ago, when it was not an Apache project yet, but it was still from Citrix, but they were open sourcing it from cloud.com. And I've been using Apache CloudStack ever since. I've become a contributor, PMC member. I've been the VP of CloudStack for a year. And I've been very involved with the project, writing code myself, contributing many features, and nowadays still very active in the community to keep the project alive and healthy.
How did you start it with the project, and actually what attracted your attention to it?
It was actually a colleague of mine which pointed me to saying, "Hey, this looks interesting. This seems like a turnkey solution to deploy virtual machines very easily for a cloud provider." And we installed, and I would say jokingly, on a Friday afternoon, we installed CloudStack and we just had it working. And it wasn't called CloudStack actually yet; it was still called Cloud.com. As it was moving away from Citrix. But as I said, they were adopting it to the Apache Foundation at that time, and that was around 2012. So and we stayed with the project ever since because it works for us.
And you mentioned that you're a PMC member of the project. Can you share with the community what is the role of PMC members?
Yeah, the PMC members are a group of people which oversee the project, making sure it stays healthy. They can also vote for additional contributors, which then can start committing. They're called committers inside the ASF. And as a PMC, we just make sure that everything is respected and the project goes the right way. We do voting. PMCs have a binding vote in releases, for example. And in the end, you could say like a board of the project.
Would you recommend CloudStack also to big companies? In the last years, I mean, we see a lot of enterprises who are also considering CloudStack and are switching to it. What makes it a good choice also for big enterprises?
Well, yeah, I would recommend it, yes, because there have been simulations out there which simulated CloudStack running with thousands of hypervisors and tens of thousands of virtual machines. And we also know that in production, a very big companies are using CloudStack in really big deployments internally. They don't talk about it publicly, but we know that there are a few very big users running, enterprises running tens of thousands of virtual machines on their private cloud premises. And why they're using it, yeah, it's just a stable project which works for them.
And on the technology side, where is CloudStack going? What is on the roadmap?
Well, on the roadmap, there are many features. I would say it's feature-wise very mature already. It's not that of course, we have people asking for additional features and they will always be added, but people want stability. They want a stable project where they can run their cloud environment on, and it's enhancements of existing features or adding additional features, more stability-wise, performance-wise. I know there's a few features coming up for KVM. Around HA, there's a new implementation where IPMI used to be the technology which you would use to do the out-of-band management of your hypervisors. Now Redfish is the new API. So that was implemented recently in CloudStack. There's a new UI, which is fully scalable, works on mobile, works on an iPad, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the things which are still getting into CloudStack. But CloudStack hasn't changed that much from its core functionality from a few years ago.
And is it easy for the companies which are new to the technology to start and to deploy it in production?
Yeah, I would say so. Some other projects have a very big, a very big learning curve to learn the project and adopt it and install it. You need to go through a lot of how-tos, and CloudStack is just installing the management server, installing the KVM agent if you're using the KVM hypervisor, and that's about it. You need to do a few configurations in the UI. and you have a running cloud environment, I would say within a week, you can have a proof of concept running where you can be very confident that you could run it in production as well.
And what would you share about the CloudStack community?
It's a smaller community, but it's a very active and very friendly community, which you can join as an individual user. You need to know in the ASF, it's not companies joining a community, it's people joining a community. And the people joining in the CloudStack community, of course, they are usually backed by a company, somebody pays their salary, but it's a very friendly and welcoming community where we have developers all over the world.
What would you advise all of the community members, how we can grow the popularity of CloudStack and how we can grow as a community?
Spread the word, and tell everybody, spread the word that the CloudStack is out there. And sometimes CloudStack is seen as this dull, boring project. It's just an orchestrator running virtual machines. It's doing its work in the background, but it's actually a very exciting project. If you get into the code and if you see how it works, now it just flawlessly works and deploys your virtual machines, runs your virtual machines. It can actually be a lot of fun. So I would like to get people enthusiastic about developing for CloudStack. And the existing developers, go to your friends who might be writing code as well, and talk to them and saying, hey, this might be an interesting project for you to join, because there's also a lot of job opportunities. If you work with CloudStack, there are many companies looking for people experienced with CloudStack.
According to you, what type of companies can actually benefit the most of CloudStack? Is it more orientated to service providers or cloud and hosting providers or companies which are managing internal private cloud?
Yeah, I'm a bit biased, of course, because I work at a service provider, and I would say that service providers and hosting companies, those are the ones they benefit the most from deploying CloudStack. Internal private clouds, I can't answer that question because I don't run an internal private cloud, because everything which we run, of course, is our private cloud, but we expose it as a hosting company towards our end users. But because it has a very rich API, it has a very friendly UI. It's something which your end customers can adopt very easily.
Wido, according to you, why companies need to select CloudStack as their cloud management platform?
Well, you need something which you can rely on. And then I'm not talking about a technical perspective. Of course, CloudStack, you need to rely on it from a technical perspective because it just needs to work, and it works. However, it also needs to be something you can rely on as a company where you can invest in for the longer term. And because it's guarded under the Apache Software Foundation, you know that the project is going to be there in a couple of years and in 10 years as well. It's just going to continue being the stable foundation underneath your infrastructure. And that's what you need as a company.
And as an experienced CTO, according to you, which are the top 3 benefits of CloudStack as a technology?
Well, as I said, the stability, but also the ease of use. So it's very easy to use. I have a limited group of people. It's just 3 people working on a daily basis on CloudStack, managing hundreds of hypervisors and tens of thousands of virtual machines managed by a very limited group of people. They're very skilled, of course, and they have a lot of knowledge about CloudStack, but it's easy to use. And if you want to go for number 3, it's also easy to get into the community. So if you have an issue, it's easy to read the code, fix the issue, and get it upstream. And as I said, we have a welcoming community. So if you submit a pull request on GitHub, you'll have somebody answering your pull request pretty quickly. And if it's a good piece of code, they'll merge it. Otherwise, you'll get feedback and it will be merged anyway.